Hello everyone, I mentioned in the last video that I had one other package coming that was Star Trek related, and that was What We Left Behind, the Backers edition. The gorgeous Blu-ray DVD combo. Open it up here, it actually has really nice art on the discs themselves. Let me turn them around here. Hopefully there's not too much glare. Gorgeous, and then we have on the back here Cisco on the reversible cover and the art that they did for the mock-up of Season 8, the first opening episode of this imaginary Season 8, which was a beautiful addition to this documentary. I talked about this before a little bit on the channel, but specifically talking more about this release rather than the actual documentary itself, it is definitely worth picking up even if you have seen it before. I had actually seen this 4 times before this arrived. There was a backer-only stream, which we watched a couple of times, and then I went and saw it in theaters for a one-time only showing. And it's well worth watching again, but this is worth owning for the extras. The documentary itself is fantastic. The bonus features, though, are remarkable. There was an attempt to balance, I think, that Ira really focused on with making this something that is very well balanced between the original negative perception of Deep Space Nine mixed with the praise. At the time that it came out, it was very much some people really just weren't into the concept, and it was very much against the grain, and it was kind of this seen as kind of a secondary show to TNG, then leading into Voyager. But at the same time, it was also getting very high praise during its run, and was sort of this kind of oddball in a way during the 90s. I remember watching, and not a lot of my friends were watching, not as many of my friends were watching Deep Space Nine as TNG and Voyager. And I was sort of like a little more the odd man out, where Deep Space Nine was my favorite from the very beginning. And it kind of balances that between how now the respect has grown over the years, and it is not going to be everyone's absolute favorite version of Star Trek, but for me, not only is my favorite, I really think that is overall the best written and conceived series, especially seasons 3 through 7. 1 and 2 are fantastic, though. I think they are better than a lot of people give them credit for. I hear over and over again how people say, you know, season 1 and 2 are just kind of okay and build up to 3 and beyond. And while I agree that 3 and beyond is definitely a little bit better, there's some amazing episodes in season 1 and 2. I think they don't get enough credit. Yeah, Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek show from episode 1, from Emissary. But yeah, there was that balance, and then also trying to keep it a length to where it is watchable and enjoyable for people that aren't just hardcore Deep Space Nine fans. But then in these special features, they included all the different segments that were cut from they talk about in the end credits, how there are certain segments they filmed talking about different episodes, like trials and tribulations, and different episodes and different aspects that were put in and then cut, and then they were, you know, picking and choosing which interviews to include and things like that. And I do think, though, after watching all the special features, it was actually cut a little too short in some ways. I think some of the extra stuff actually added a lot to the overall quality of the documentary, to where I wish it had been included in the first place, and none of the individual segments are really that long. A lot of them are under the 5-minute mark, so I feel like it maybe went a little too far with the cutting in some regards, but then it's hard for me to balance being a big Star Trek fan. But I think there were a couple that really added something that really should have stayed in. But anyway, that really, again, that alone makes it worth owning this to really get the whole documentary in a way, because you already have the final cut of the documentary that was in theaters and backer streams and things, which is fantastic, really well done, and is a really it's a love letter to Deep Space Nine without being just an overly positive, you know, jerking your own chain, just like we're amazing, because a lot of times these types of documentaries will go too far in that direction where they only just praise themselves endlessly, and this doesn't do that. It's very fascinating and has a balanced look at Deep Space Nine. But the extra scenes then really, I think, to me, that completes the documentary and really makes it more of a full picture of Deep Space Nine. And of course, you have the fantastic addition of the idea of filming a season 8 and where they would have gone with that, and I love the animation, adding that great visual element to it. And then you have plenty of other special features. That's just one thing. That's just one list of special features. There's so much more on here that really adds. I mean, there's so much, and there's some things that are also about the remastering, the HD discussion, different elements. There are some special features that are only on the Blu-ray and some that are on both the Blu-ray and DVD. It really just it's worth grabbing. So if you, and this is the backers edition cover, is a little bit different than what the one they're going to find in stores or online. That is, you know, it's absolutely amazing. It's worth getting. You know, as I said, like, I know some people will see it once and maybe went to the theaters thing, like, oh, I'm good, I saw it. Grab the DVD or Blu-ray, like a combo from Shout Factory. It's worth getting, absolutely. It's not just the amazing documentary. It's that amazing documentary in a larger form, in a more complete form, in my opinion, with the extra features, and then additional extra features that just add so much value. I mean, this really is a great value for your dollar purchase. If you are a fan of Star Trek in general, I think it's great to pick up. If you are a fan of Deep Space Nine, you need to have it in your collection. This needs to go on the shelf along with your DVDs or your Laserdiscs or whatever of Deep Space Nine, your VHS tapes. This needs to go up there because this is fantastic.